Yeah, a lot of happiness, to be honest. I knew that, coming to one of the best teams in the Netherlands, if not the best team, we were going to be champions, and that's the reason why I came here to PSV, to be champion, and, it's a great day today.
So next season, are you going to keep fighting for a place in the starting basis?
Yeah, hopefully I can get more minutes, but of course I'll keep fighting and working hard.
I wanted to know and ask you if you feel comfortable at this club. Do you want to stay?
Yeah, I feel very comfortable. I think I've had a great season so far. But yes, the thing is, it's more up to the club than it is to me. So I can't really say anything to that.
Yeah, I have the brace on, so I'm really happy. I'm really proud of the team. Unfortunately this happened, but yeah, things happen in life, so I have to accept it, and I did. But yeah, this is an amazing atmosphere, and we have so many fans here in the city. It's booming, it's totally full. So yeah, this was a really nice day. One of the best, the best day that I'm here in PSV.
Herc, PSV, Dutch champions, featuring 3 American players and built by an American in Ernie Stewart. What do you make of it?
Can I start off with Ernie Stewart really quickly? It's remarkable what he's done. And they took a chance on Ernie Stewart. Ernie Stewart comes in, picks the manager. Ernie Stewart comes in, takes chances on guys like Serginho Dest, who didn't really go well at Barcelona, didn't go well at AC Milan. He wasn't playing in Milan. Says, we can trust this kid, bring him in. I think he will be good for this club. He was. Brings in Malik Tillman from Scotland, that level, and says, this is a guy that we can trust in the center midfield, and he will do good things for us. He does. Hell of a season. Brings in Ricardo Pepi, while he did have a second go in the Netherlands, a second breath, if you will, second lease on life. In the Bundesliga, it didn't go his way, so one could argue that at a bigger club, maybe it wouldn't go his way either. Takes a risk on him. It ends up paying off. When Luke de Jong's not available, he comes on. He had 9 goals, off the bench, this guy pretty much. A big Champions League goal. And then Chucky Lozano. There are those who could argue that Chucky Lozano maybe didn't command that type of transfer fee. Took a chance on him. He's there. They win a title. You have to tip your hat to Ernie Stewart and what he's done there. Now, I touched a little bit on each one individually, but collectively what they've done, they didn't just win a title, they dominated a league. Each one had their own contributions throughout, and it was very impressive to see.
Yeah, I think we got to focus on Ernie Stewart. He really stuck his neck out for the American player. You can imagine a guy going into a job, fresh off the U.S. job, and everybody's saying, who's he going to go after here? Americans? Had this gone wrong, you know how it would have been painted. That's not a knock on the Dutch press. That's any press. If you're a guy from a country and you're bringing in other players from that country, they better be good. He stuck his neck out for the American player, and he was rewarded for it. And let's not just talk about what they did in the league, Herc. Let's talk about what they did in the continent as well, getting to the knockout stages of champions. And remember that round of 16 showdown with Dortmund. It's not really decided until stoppage time of the second leg. And Dortmund, by the time people watch this, might be in a Champions League final. Yeah. So let's give him a lot of credit for what he was able to do. There are few American coaches, few American managers, but when you talk about executives, Herc, there's almost nobody doing this like what Ernie Stewart has done. So I think he's probably opened some doors in that part of the world and maybe opened some doors all around the world for the American executive, which is going to help American managers and American coaches. The one mistake he makes is Chucky Lozano, but it doesn't cost him very much because they do get the title. I think that's really the big question now for Ernie Stewart moving forward. Is he going to be able to rebuild this team? Because the guys we're talking about, the Americans, 2 of them are on loan. Chucky Lozano, we know, is pretty much on his way out. And the one guy that's not on loan, Ricardo Pepi, either between him, Herc, or his agent, has been the most vocal about being unhappy at PSV. So I'm curious about what's next, especially with Pepi.
Listen, Pepi's at a critical moment in his career. If we're talking about just club level, we have no idea what happens to Luke de Jong. He's coming off an MVP performance in the Eredivisie. He's going to have to bide his time, wait. Will he stay? I don't know. But when it comes to Pepi and the national team, I had him when everybody was talking about Folarin Balogun, Ricardo Pepi, Folarin Balogun, Ricardo Pepi. I had him U.S. men's national team number 9, number 1. That's where I had Ricardo Pepi. And we thought it was a 2-horse race. Well, there are some other horses that have entered this race since then. If we're realistically thinking about this summer with Ricardo Pepi, Copa America, there have been reports of the Copa America rosters going from 23 to 26. If they do go from 23 to 26, no doubt you will see 4 forwards in that picture, if that happens. But right now, I don't think anybody can pencil in Ricardo Pepi as forward number 1. You look at the U.S. men's national team versus Jamaica semifinal of the CONCACAF Nations League. It's Ricardo Pepi coming on, minute 63 for Folarin Balogun. In that game, it's Haji Wright who steals the show. It's Haji Wright who gets his goals. And then it's Haji Wright who starts the final in the biggest game in Ricardo Pepi's mind against Mexico in that final. He starts. Folarin Balogun is the guy who comes on for him. Ricardo Pepi is an unused sub. I have to assume that with the limited amount of time that Ricardo Pepi has had, that if he goes to Copa America with the hot hand that is Haji Wright and the context that was the Nations League and Josh Sargent, who was initially on that roster and not Haji Wright, Greg Berhalter is going to stick with the hot hand, those 2 players, those 2 very informed players, and a player who he recruited. It could be a very difficult moment for Ricardo Pepi when it comes to playing time. So I think Ricardo Pepi has to be one of the players that is used in the Olympic roster, has to be a player at 21 years of age. It just makes sense. You're not going to use an overaged reinforcement, overaged player slots on Ricardo Pepi because he has the age. So you can save that 9 position for a player like Ricardo Pepi who can do some damage for you and who needs this confidence desperately. He can use this platform to hopefully set himself up for next season.
We'll see if PSV goes for it. PSV and Ricardo Pepi, champions of the Eredivisie with a couple games left to go.